Hi Stampers, today I've got another embossing technique for you. This is a Mosiac Tile technique, and we're going to start with sticker paper, and I've cut this to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and you're going to need some shapes cut out with of black cardstock. I used Nestabilities. You can use Sizzix dies, you can use punches, whatever it is you have, but you want to punch them out in a solid color. I like black, so that's what I'm going to use. And then you want some scraps of designer paper, or if you want it to be solid, you could also use solid colored cardstock. On this one I used 3 different colors, the green, blue, and purple for the background, but on this particular one I'm only going to use the blue. So first of all, I punched out my pieces and I kind of laid them out the way I want them laid out on my cardstock. And then the sticker paper is crack and peel again, so you're going to find where it cracks and peel off the paper. Save this paper because you'll need it later. And then you're going to lay your images down on your sticker paper where you want them. And you don't have to press them down too good right now because we're going to use the paper later to go ahead and press everything down. So what you're going to do is start with strips of your designer paper. These are about 1/2 inch thick, and you're just going to cut them randomly in different shapes, some triangles, some squares, nothing particular. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of them here. Okay, and then you're just going to start in the middle of your paper and you're going to lay your mosaic pieces down, all these little scraps, and you want to leave a little bit of a space between them because that's where the embossing powder is going to go. And I just like to go all the way around my image to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm back. That's a little bit of a time-consuming process, but I think the end result is worth it, and I think you will too. So once you've got all your pieces on there, you'll notice I've taken them and I've stuck them on the edges, sticking out, because you want to make sure you fill in all the gaps around the edges as well. And I did cut some smaller pieces for the insides where I couldn't get the bigger pieces. And then what you're going to do is this piece that you took off of the sticker paper, lay it back down on here and just rub your papers all in so they're all stuck on the sticker paper really good, so you don't get the embossing powder underneath them. So make sure they're good and pressed. And then what we're going to do is I'm using Buttercup Petal embossing powder. On this one I used Tinsel. So you can use any color embossing powder that you want. And we're just going to go ahead and cover our whole sheet with the embossing powder, and it's going to stick to the sticker paper in between all of the pieces of paper. This is going to be like your grout. And you'll see this Buttercup is a cosmic embossing powder. It leaves a big sheen on the cardstock, but that'll come off. Okay, and then we're going to heat it. So we're going to heat the embossing powder all the way around. Okay, so when it's done, you want to wait until it's completely cool, and then you can take a Swiffer dust cloth and just wipe all the residue off of the cardstock. Okay, then you want to take your scissors or your paper cutter and trim around the edges just to clean it up. And then I like to mat this piece on a black piece of cardstock, and it just makes it all pop. So there's your cardstock, and all of that did not wipe off on the birdie, but if you want to make sure it all comes off, if you just use an eraser too, an eraser will wipe it off. I had a little bit of glue stuck around there from where I put this wing on. I think the embossing powder stuck to the wing. So if you do that when you're done sprinkling the embossing powder on, you could use a soft brush and just brush around the bird and get the excess off. But that's the Mosiac tile. Very pretty. And I will see you again tomorrow with another embossing technique. Happy stamping!